Let's now speak to the head of local government at AfriForum, Morne Mostert. Morne, a very good morning to you and thank you so much for your time. So we heard there when the president was in the Northwest promising radical accountability in governance. Do you think visits such as that of yesterday when he met with provincial leaders will see a turnaround of that province?
Good morning, Katlego. I think that is the million-dollar question, right? We've seen a lot of promises in the past week or so from the president with regards to service delivery in different provinces in South Africa. We've seen a lot of change, and this is spurred on by the fact that next year would obviously be a municipal election. So this is in preparation for the ANC's large-scale campaigning that they want to start doing for municipal elections. But the story that was just told about the Northwest is not a story that is foreign to many South Africans, not foreign to many of the provinces within South Africa. And it's a sad story to tell. I think if we look at legislation, there is clear accountability within legislation and the legislative mechanisms that are in place to ensure accountability on each of the three spheres of government. And maybe just to put it in context, if a municipality does not fulfill their executive obligations, then the province should be appropriate to intervene, and that's where we hear the stories of put under administration. Then the provincial executive should intervene and make sure that municipalities then comply with relevant legislation. What we are seeing now is because provincial departments are not equipped and does not have that capacity. Now the constitution is clear in 1397 to say, well, if the provincial executives has also failed to adequately intervene into municipalities, then that obligation then falls on the president. So I think it's correct and easy to say that municipalities are in a disastrous state. But this is also starting to become a precedent where the provincial executives also does not have the capability to ensure municipal compliance. So I think this is a story on two layers of government failing and now falling on the president to intervene, which actually shows you in which disastrous state local government is. I think a second very important point is that the constitution also gives part of the 139 intervention section. It gives the administrator the power to dissolve municipal council. And that we don't see feature as much. AfriForum has recently got an order to dissolve one of those council, because remember, council is the political leg of a municipality, but is also the leg that must ensure accountability of each municipality. So whenever there is a specific malperformance within the municipality, it falls also squarely upon the council of that specific municipality. And although I do understand that the dissolution of a municipal council is an extreme measure, I think it's also extreme measure when communities do not have water, do not have electricity, and it's just failed on the broad spectrum of service delivery.
I mean, the president yesterday spoke about the next coming local government elections, and he was pleading to parties to deploy candidates who are capable and competent enough to run local government. And he was saying that there are two problems. It's the elected officials and the administration, and repairing these will lead to better governance in local government. Do you think we've left consequence management too far in order for us to be able to repair some of these municipalities when now we only have a last resort of having to dissolve the municipalities where we could nip it in the bud much earlier?
Yes, I think that is a very good example, and the most appropriate mechanism to take action at the first instance is the municipal council. I think secondly, it's important to understand that it's the ANC as political party's own policy to do cadre deployment, to ensure that every institution and every mechanism where the ANC is part of where there is mechanisms of power, that should be filled with a person that is loyal to the ANC, rather than, let's call it maybe a meritocracy, where a person is extremely qualified to do a specific position, qualified to be able to fit that position and execute it correctly. And lastly, for mechanisms to be in place to ensure compliance. I think that is very important. If we see that municipalities are filled with skilled personnel on each level. We recently did our landfill site audit, where specifically within the Northwest municipalities, only 3 of the 21 landfills that we audited complied. What we have seen is that there are maybe capable personnel on ground level, but that they are not being supported by the senior level with the correct equipment, with the correct skills to be able to function properly. And with a 3 out of 21 score out of municipalities in the Northwest, you can understand that a service like landfill sites is going to be maybe a spitting image of other services within the area, the province that the president is now speaking upon. I think another example is last year's Blue and Drop project. We are currently doing the Blue and Green Drop project across the whole country, but specifically in the Northwest, only 1 of 23 municipality of 23 testing points actually complied with national standards, and there were 4 municipalities that were not serving clean drinking water to their communities. So there is a visceral impact on this policy that the ANC is implementing currently. And it seems that they are struggling with consequence management, not only within their party, but to ensure that the structures that they are holding currently, like council and like municipalities, aren't functioning as the Constitution implores them to do. We must understand that it's the Constitution, the foundational document, that puts this responsibility on municipalities to render services to communities. So it's a principal failure of the municipal structure that we are seeing currently.
So you're saying a lot of these failures have a direct correlation with the lack of skill and capacity of those that are holding those jobs.
And I think there is not a focus on service delivery. It's very appropriate if a municipality sets in and tries to actually render services. But what we have seen with municipalities in South Africa, even where places where AfriForum has approached municipalities, trying to assist municipalities in rendering of services, or even trying to fill some skill gap, where, and in certain instances, we do this free of charge. So it's not even at a detriment to the municipality. We see that municipalities would shun away any help that is given to them, which might be telling that the municipalities do not have a service delivery focus, do not have a focus on getting running water to communities. And the questions then should be asked, but what is the ANC's focus then?
I mean, we heard that yesterday the provincial leaders in the Northwest were presenting that accelerated service delivery strategy, Tunsalerole. Do you think such strategies can be not only good on paper, but actually placed within these municipalities and actually see service delivery being turned around?
Well, I do think it's possible. I think that there are certain steps that needs to go along with this plan. I think firstly, this plan must be readily available for all community organizations or businesses or farmers to get a buy-in into that specific plan. It's very important that when you get that buy-in, you need to use the structures that are on ground level to be able to assist you. And it's not a way of businesses should tell or farmers should tell how it's being implemented, but you should have a form of collaboration on ground level to be able to go implement these plans. We see that organizations like AfriForum, like business forums and other community-based organizations are extremely willing to assist each level of government to better service delivery. But it seems like government in general, and even more so when it goes up to the national level of government, does not work so well together with specific local stakeholders. And one must remember the Municipal Systems Act is clear that a municipality is actually made up of three parts. It's the municipal council, the municipal administration, and the communities that it serves. And if that focus, or if that is not being implemented together with the plan that the province or that national wants to implement, I think it's doomed to fail. I think if the ANC structures would only rely upon itself, it is doomed to fail. And I think without the communities buy-in, they are going to struggle to do it in any event.
Speaking of those communities, what role from an active citizenry point do you believe our local communities should be playing in order to ensure that the governments that they elect and put in place are actually working for them?
Yeah, so firstly, I think it's very important that there are municipal public participation processes, and AfriForum is one to strongly say that one must communicate to the municipality what you expect from them. It's very important for us to take part in the integrated development plan, which is basically the business plan of the municipality. So we actively take part not only to say what is wrong within the municipality, which is usually a large part, but we really do try to put in certain suggestions on cheapest, best way to solve certain solutions on ground level as well. In other municipalities, we have tried to help them with revenue collection to ensure that the revenue collection of the municipality goes forward. So to be an active citizen, you need to be honest about the performance of the municipality. You must be able to communicate it through letters or through public participation processes to ensure that the municipality understands what the stakeholder expects and understands what the stakeholder maybe can give to municipalities, or what they can assist the municipalities in. We at AfriForum, we have a large-scale projects with regards to road infrastructure, water infrastructure, sewage infrastructure. So we do a lot of work to prepare and to try and assist municipalities. So that's the third thing. I think the fourth thing is to ensure that you take active, the citizens must be active to address this to the municipal councillors and to council, and to have a truthful relationship with your council, to know that if there is a councillor that really tries to better the area of the communities, then obviously that is good for them. But to ensure accountability, they must also communicate a lot of these problems through the political structure for them to understand what the people want. So I think there's a different types of mechanisms that communities and citizenry can use, and AfriForum stands here to assist there where we can.